Hello, beautiful souls. Victoria Amador here from Soul Healing Tribe and the Awakening the Healer Within Training Program.com. Today, I want to talk to you about our ancestors. I think this is something that, especially those of us that are more spiritually attuned, tend to work closely with our ancestors because we know there is a lot of teachings and healings and transmutation that can happen by working directly with our ancestors. And somebody asked me, what happens if I don't have a connection to our ancestors? What happens if I feel very disconnected? So I'm going to do this conversation mostly to address that question, but also to inspire you to consider to see things from a different perspective. And what I mean is, when we think of this, the people that we had here, great-grandparents or grandparents or loved ones that have transitioned, we know that they left and that they went to another realm. We also know that especially if you're more into understanding energy and how energy works, is that energy doesn't get destroyed. It can change, but it will not stop being. So by definition, what that means is that our ancestors somewhere are in another realm somewhere. We don't know where sometimes, if they already went through the spirit realm. And sometimes we talked about the bat and the cat and how we all have the different bodies and how our soul goes to source, another part can get stuck in between. We also have spoken about in the YouTube channel about understanding energy and why some spirits decide to stay behind. Maybe they have pending things that they need to work on. Maybe they have issues that they need to see through. Maybe they have kids that they left behind. Whatever it may be, there are reasons why some energetic beings are stuck in that realm and they cannot continue. But what happens when our people, our ancestors transition and they were okay, they were at peace, they moved on? What happens then, and how come we can feel them sometimes coming to us in our sleep, coming to us when we're meditating, or in the daytime when something is happening and they need to give you a warning or do some type of work? How come some of those ancestors or beings stay behind? What is the purpose of that? And what I want to convey to you is that there are times when this ancestor, the piece that goes to source, there is another one that stays to do work in the astral realm, in the spirit realm, in order to assist others that may be stuck behind, that may have to go through additional issues if they don't assist from that place where they are. So they stay out of the willingness to assist their family members or friends, wherever it may be in the community or so on, to do the work that otherwise they wouldn't be able to do by themselves. Now, on the other hand, what the implications of that is actually interesting, because the implications could also mean that no matter that one piece goes to source, we know that we have the different bodies that make us who we are here as human. We have the physical body, we have the mental, we have the pranic body, we have the auric body, we have the subtle body, we have different bodies. In some of the ancient creatures, we can find reference to over 22 different bodies that make us who we are, from the physical all the way up to the higher beings of who we are that represent one unit of who we are. So by definition, a piece can go to source, while another piece stays in the spirit realm to do work that is needed in order to help the collective or family members continue to do what they came here for, to get out of the loop of the karma cycle and go back to source, right? So let's put that as the easiest way to explain this. So why is this important? Is because some people get really tricked with the idea that if you are in the spirit realm, that means you're suffering, you have things to pay that you haven't worked through, or maybe some people wouldn't even know what that means, and they will start thinking that I'm being haunted by these people because they're coming to me. So my my goal with this conversation is to help you understand that there are many reasons why different family members may be in the spirit realm trying to convey messages to you. And sometimes those messages could be about you healing, but because we're so afraid, when they come to us, we think, oh my God, it must be another person trying to haunt me or trying to hurt me or trying to scare me. And sometimes it's just our ancestors letting us know what is it that we need to work through to heal. And this is important because what I realized, the more I have worked with so many different type of people from all over, like all over the US, Latin America, Europe, and so on, clients from many different parts of the planet, is that a lot of the hauntings that we think are hauntings, where we are waking up to spiritual abilities and we feel like I'm seeing so much and I'm feeling so much, sometimes it's our own people, our own ancestors coming to give you revelations to know about, to help you understand what you need to work through, or to help you transmute for the family line. So the more advanced you are, the more you're going to be able to do work for the family line after you go through your own healing process, because it will be a little psychotic to think that you're going to be transmuting for the family line if you haven't done your own healing, right? So we have to be very mature about what this means. So why, if these people were good people, they will stay in the spirit realm, in the astral realm, to come back to you and not go rest in peace and do other things in other parts of the universe, right? Or stay in paradise, like some people think. So why will that happen? Is also because they have things that they need to heal, that they haven't healed, and that they're hoping that by helping you, that they can heal those things, because the healing continues in the spirit realm. So for example, somebody that suffers from abusive relationships or being the abuser, they will go to different hospitals in the spirit realm and different processes to heal what it meant to suffer through that, and see the implications of those people that were abused or as a consequence hurt by the things that you did, the behaviors and the words that you use and the things that you do to those people, so that you will see what happens from above, and then you will try to pass down information to your loved ones or those people that were hurt by you, in order for you to do your healing here and for the people here to do their healing here. So it becomes a very interconnected experience, but we have to be willing to do that, right? We have to be open to do that, because if you die tomorrow or today and you go through your life review and you see all the things that you did to hurt others and all the things that others did to hurt you, what normally happens is that we take responsibility for us, right? But we also become the victims. Oh, this happened to me because of this happened to me, and so did this to me. But when you're seeing the whole life experience and you see the consequences of the words that we use, the actions that we took, the behaviors that how we behave with others, the things that we didn't do that we shouldn't have, that we should have done, and so on, we can see how we have participated in the victim and abuser cycle, and how that creates a lot of pain for others. So you might stay in the spirit realm here to heal, and then help those that you hurt heal too, by coming to them and giving them ideas or visitations and feelings and things, helping them see things from a different perspective. But the person here that doesn't know may think that this person that transitioning is coming is coming to hurt them, to abuse them, to continue that relationship, to and sometimes it appears that way because the person here has to understand this person that is coming as a ghost is coming to, and because it's coming, is creating this feeling in me. Therefore, I know I still have trauma, wounds that I have to heal. So this person is haunting me, but in reality, is trying to get you to say, I need to heal whatever it went on with this person, whether it is codependency issue. That's why a lot of people have issues with grief. They don't know how to let people go because they had, besides a lot of love, they also had codependency, where they depended on somebody else to feel better about themselves, to do whatever they needed to do, right? Some people may have issues with worthiness, feeling like they are worthy of being here, feeling love, feeling happy. And now whatever this person comes to represent may be reminding them that this needs to be done. So not only we have the other people around us that are here in the physical, reminding us of the wounds and the traumas that we have to heal, but a lot of the times we also have spirits that are coming to remind us, you need to heal this in order for you to feel better. And when you feel better and you forgive me, the one that is here, I forgive you for causing all this pain. Now I have one thing less to work on because you have forgiven me. So it is so interconnected to work on our issues, because we think we work on our issues and that's it. But in reality, our families heal, our ancestors heal, people, our descendants are going to heal, people that we don't know are going to heal as a result of the healing that I do. So I'll give you an example. I had a client where she was in a session and her brother has a mental disorder. And she was working through a session where she went into a past life and she was being abused. And the abuser was a male. And that male is the same soul of her brother here now. And the whole session was very interesting because when she realizes that male that abused her in that life, like physically abused her to the point where she didn't want to be alive, is the soul of her brother here now, and they have a beautiful relationship. So she was very surprised to experience this, but she saw how she was so much in pain that when she died, she made a promise to haunt that male for all the pain that he caused her. And she was haunting her own brother in this life. The spirit in that experience, in that past life, was trapped in that trauma so much so that it was haunting the brother in this life here. I know this sounds like very convoluted, but for the soul, there is no time. The soul is timeless. The soul is experiencing all the different lives all at the same time. So it was trapped in an experience where it was heavily abused by a male, heavily abused to the point that she committed suicide. And when she committed suicide, she promised herself to haunt the male that beat her up, that treated her like nothing. And that male is the soul of the brother here. And that soul that has mental issues is being haunted by many entities. And she was one of those entities. So the session was very emotional because at that point, she basically everything made sense to her, everything. And she realizes, oh my God, this means that potentially other people in my family could be haunting him. And maybe that's why he has a mental disorder. We're not saying that this is the only reason, but for her, this was a very emotional session, extremely emotional. And imagine what happens when we go through experiences where I had another client. He said he was seeing entities that look like little demons in his house by the kitchen. And when he will go by the kitchen, he will be so afraid. So when he went to the bathroom in the middle of the night, he will put a towel over the mirror, because when he looks at the mirror, he will see different shades, different figures. And one day he said, I'm going to face it. So he decides to face these things. And when he's having this fight with these things, one of them says, you have to remember who I am. And at that point, he felt something that he hasn't felt before. He felt a connection to this thing. And when he goes into his sessions, he realizes that this is a brother in a past life where there was unfinished business. And when he goes there, it becomes a very emotional session, because he realizes this entity that has been trying to grab my attention is my brother in another experience where we had things left undone that I had to go heal. And it had to do a lot with feeling of hopelessness, feeling unloved, feeling guilty as well, because he left his brother and saved himself, but he left his brother behind. So things can be very interconnected in a way that is very magical. I want to encourage you to consider that sometimes when these entities are coming, they're not just the bad entities, they're entities that are looking to help you. Sometimes they do traumatize you, because otherwise we don't get it. They will help you understand what you need to heal if you're open to it. I'm going to leave it here, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you so much for being here. Thank